Hey guys, what's going on? Brian Brewer here. I'm sitting out back. You can see all the towels behind me hanging up on the wall drying from the pool yesterday. Anyways, there's something that's, I don't want to say bugging me, but there's something that's troubling me with regards to people who are trying to market their business using Instagram. And it's so troubling that I wanted to make a video about it first thing in the morning. It's like 6:15, 6:30 in the morning. I literally just woke up. I'm having my first cup of coffee. But like I said, this was troubling to me, and so let me give you a little bit of context, and I'm going to tell you the solution and where not to waste your time. So, first and foremost, I was in a group last night. As a new group that I joined, and once again, just for context, this is a group that is on Facebook. It's about 50,000 people, and most of the people in this group, I would say a majority, it seems like, based on the 20 minutes I spent in there last night, it seems like a majority of the people in this group are women in their 20s, 30s, maybe 40s. They're probably in some sort of photography, graphic design, that type of space with their business. So, in theory, should be a great place for them to be hanging out and getting new clients, showcasing their work. Instagram, I'm speaking of course. But as I'm reading through some of the comments, trying just to take a temperature of the group and see basically what their struggles are, that's why I was in this group. I'm seeing so many posts and comments about Instagram. I'm assuming that they are photographers who are very talented. I'm assuming they're designers who produce visually appealing work. I'm assuming their art is amazing. Why wouldn't it be? But they're posting comments like, I'm not getting any traction on Instagram. Last week I got 100 new subscribers, or whatever they're called on Instagram, followers. This week I've only got 63 and it's almost over. I've been doing this for 2 years. How long does it take to start getting traction? And then the real troubling thing is one person wrote back, I've been doing this for 7 years, and I don't even know if Instagram's been around for 7 years. I think she said I've been doing this for 7 years, and I've only got 4,000 followers or whatever. And maybe she was just talking about been marketing herself for 7 years or whatever. But the point I'm getting at is Instagram's great, especially if you are in graphic design, if you do tattoos, if you do art, if you're a photographer. But if that's not you, I have a hard time believing that Instagram is going to help your brand grow. And even if it is you, it certainly appears that it's not going to help your brand grow. And I told you it was early, your brand grow. What's the solution? Well, I'll give you the solution in just a second. But first, let's talk about why. And the why, it's really twofold. The first why is, Instagram organic reach is drying up, just like Facebook did back in 2012. It used to be, obviously, Facebook and Instagram are owned by the same company or same person, and they're going to follow those same patterns. And what obviously their income is, their revenue is advertising, right? They make money when they sell ads. They create the attention, they create the space that people hang out. Then they simply serve the ads to the people that are already hanging out there based on their interests, right? So back in 2010, 2011, it was very common for people on Facebook to buy page likes, okay? You promote your business, you buy page likes, they're very cheap. Then once someone likes your page, then you can essentially advertise to them for free for eternity. You can put up offers in your feed or whatever. And that's back when everything was chronological, meaning if you liked a page, you're going to see their latest posts. You might have to scroll through the other people's pages that you like, but eventually you're going to see their posts. Well, then it switched where it was no longer chronological, went to the point where it was suggested posts. Facebook showed you what was good, basically, essentially, what was engaging. And they use their algorithms to do so. So all these people who spend all this money promoting their business by buying likes, all of a sudden those likes essentially became worthless. And that's, for context, that kind of started happening right when Facebook hit around 800,000 users. this isn't the type of channel that throws up stats and cites my sources. Sorry, but well, lo and behold, Instagram comes along and it's great. People build $1 million businesses, $100 million businesses. Like the Movement Watches is a great example. They built a huge business basically out of Instagram, some advertising, but some organic growth. And there's a lot of people who've done the same. And the other thing is if you're watching this video right now wondering why your Instagram's not growing, you may have a teacher or a mentor or someone who created a course that you're in or someone you're following or someone who created a group that you're in that built their brand up successfully using Instagram, but they may have done it in 2014, 2015. Okay, things have changed. Same thing happened once Instagram hit 800 million users. They went from the chronological feed to the suggested post, and therefore you were no longer guaranteed access to the people who followed your page. So not only is it harder to get people to follow your page because there's more people on Instagram, but the followers that you do guarantee or that you do get, you're not guaranteed anyways. So, like, to me, there's just no value in trying to grow your brand on Instagram, and that's the main point. There's no value in trying to grow your brand on Instagram unless your brand is already established and you have a following somewhere else. Instagram is great, especially if you're in aesthetically pleasing, to the eye professions. If you're a photographer, it's like a lookbook. It's if you're a designer, it's like a portfolio for a photographer. It's a showcase of your work. It's there to strengthen your brand, just like a podcast. It's there to strengthen your brand, but until you get huge, discovery with it is unlikely because it's not a searchable platform. You don't go to Instagram and say, here's what I want to see today. I mean, you might follow a hashtag, but essentially it's like you're playing the lottery. If people find you, they might find you, but they might not. There's no discovery. So what's the solution, right? That's what we want to know. And the solution is simple. You have to go to platforms where search and discovery is prevalent if you want your brand to grow organically, okay? If you don't have a traffic source or a following to promote to your Instagram, then you're not growing your business because you have to grow your business on platforms where your business will grow. And that's going to be places like YouTube and Facebook groups, okay? Now, YouTube is obvious. YouTube is a search engine. It's the second biggest search engine out there. So how do you apply that to your business, you might be wondering? Well, before I tell you, let me help you understand why you want to be on YouTube and not necessarily blogging. I'm not saying blogging is bad, but you're going to get faster results, better results more quickly with YouTube because you can still rank fast on YouTube. You can't just start a blog and rank it within a week. Okay, it's just not going to happen. Yet you can go on YouTube and create content. As long as your content stays focused, you can start building your audience that will be your ideal customer in the first week, okay? What you want to do on YouTube is you want to attack the problems of your ideal customer. So let's go back, for instance, to let's say a wedding photographer, okay? Once again, we're thinking to ourselves, my dog's chewing a bone right next to the tripod, so we'll see what happens. So you might be thinking to yourselves, Instagram, great, I'm going to show off my beautiful photography. The problem is everyone's showing off their beautiful photography. No one cares about your beautiful photography yet. So you have to get them to care about you. Well, how do you do this? Well, you go onto YouTube and you start solving problems of people who are your ideal clients. Okay, who's going to be likely to hire you? Well, people who are getting married, right? If you're a wedding photographer. Okay, who's going to hire you? Is it going to be the bride or the groom? Well, it's probably going to be the bride. Okay, well, what are some questions that a new bride would have? Because you want to get in front of them before they actually made the decision to hire their photographer, right? So, first things first, answer questions that a new bride will have. When should I send out save the dates? How long before the wedding should I send out invitations? What should I put on my invitation? How many bridesmaids is the perfect number? When should I go and choose my cake? Can I hire a photographer for my cake tasting? Can I hire a photographer for my dress fitting? Can I hire a photographer that will photograph my wedding and the dress fitting and the shower and the bachelorette party. Not that you necessarily want photography at the bachelorette party. What stays in Vegas happens in Vegas, or vice versa. But those are the things you want to do. You want to answer the questions of your ideal customer, and then they're going to get to know you. They're going to get to like you. They're going to come into your brand. YouTube's going to recommend your other videos to them because they've started digesting the content on your channel, and that's where you can have more wedding photography information. So people become introduced to you. It's kind of like a long game, but it all happens very quickly. But you got to think of it like the long game. Not every piece of content is designed to create the conversion. It's to grow your brand. But that's what you can do. You can say things like, "Hey, my name is Brian. I'm a wedding photographer located in Texas or what have you," and then establish your expertise. Over the years, I've done 700 weddings, and here's some of the most common problems that I see and the answers to your most common questions, okay? And so they know you're a wedding photographer, so then they might start looking in the descriptions below your video and that's where you can post links to your Instagram, that's where you can post links to your blog, that's where you can post links to your sales page and your rates or what have you. And if you're going this route and you have a rates page, think about out of town. Okay, what's your flight fee? What's your, however you want to, do you just require a room and a flight, or do you require a per diem, or how many days are you willing to come out? Or I don't know. I'm not a wedding photographer, but those are just some of the things that could be included, the questions that could come up. You can also do this on Facebook. Create a Facebook group, not for photographers, but create a Facebook group for new brides. You know what I mean? Like a Facebook group, and start answering those questions. You can take those videos that you just shot for YouTube, you can put them in your Facebook group. You can put them on your Facebook page. This is all building your reach, and that's how discovery happens. Because once people start, like for instance, Facebook groups, once people start looking on things for, once new brides start looking at dresses and all these things that have to do with weddings, well then Facebook's going to see that most likely, and they're going to recommend your Facebook group, or other Facebook groups as well, to them. So you're going to catch them at the right time. You're solving the problems of your ideal customers, and that's what marketing is all about, especially when you're using organic traffic. So, and if this isn't really you, if you're not a wedding photographer, the same will apply to really any business. Go out there and create an audience that shares a problem and then solve their problem. That's how you make money, and that's why I created 100K Brands. It's at 100kbrands.com. If you're interested in that type of thing, specifically identifying what problems you can solve, how to build an audience that has those problems, and how you can solve them for money, then I invite you to come over and check out 100K Brands. Once again, I'm Brian Brewer. Thank you so much for sticking with me here at 6:30 in the morning. Subscribe to the channel. We'll see you soon.